Hey there, Heather. Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter. Welcome you to yet another Stone Cold Hockey 1990-91 video about the Pittsburgh Penguins, trying to see if they can do it in video game life, and they didn't really. We are 12-8-1, not half bad, but the Rangers are 18-7. Although, they play 25 games, we play 21, so there's still time, and Washington's 11-8-5, so, there's time, all that. New Jersey leads Philly by 1 point for that fourth and final playoff spot. Remember, it's 4 teams per division making the playoffs, and the others are at 16. In the Adams division, Boston, Montreal, Buffalo, and Hartford looking pretty good. Quebec has fallen flat off the earth, if you will. They had a fast start. Calgary, LA, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and the Smythe with Vancouver. On the outside looking in, Chicago's crushing the Norris. Everyone else is behind. St. Louis, Minnesota, Detroit, and Toronto. In the goal scoring department, our best scorer is 12 goals by Mark Recchi, but Hall, Gardner, and Nieuwendyk are trying to go for the 50 and 50. I think Brett Hall is close. Well, he's 27 goals in 22 games. Gardner's got 25 and 25, and Nieuwendyk's got 20 and 24. Goaltending, our goals against, well, not really the best in the world. Brazil's 14 for 2.8. Bill Ranford's got a 198. Ed Belfort a 2, and Kelly Rudy a 215. Standings wise, yeah, we've played 21 games, the fewest in the NHL. Actually, no, Edmonton's played the fewest, 20. We, Los Angeles, and the others have only played 21. The most is 25. By points percentage, we should be second. Um, Points percentage is close in everything else. We have scored 82 goals, but we've given up 72, so not that bad. 7-3 at home, but on the road, bleh. Highlights: 20 hat tricks and all that. Steve Larmer had a hat trick against Edmonton. All the goals in the game. Memorable games: the Bells. Memorable game right now was Buffalo Calgary, November 17th, when Calgary and Buffalo were battling tooth and nail. Buffalo winning overtime on a David Anderchuk goal. Montreal Hartford from Halloween night when Hartford was up 4-1. Then Courtney and LeBeau screwed over Sidorkiewicz. Minnesota Quebec is number 3, November the 3rd, when Quebec was up 3-0. But unfortunately, John Tanner could not maintain Minnesota. Bells and Bobby Smith were the heroes. So our schedule for November 23rd, it is not Thanksgiving. That's the 29th. We are in Washington, second place in our division. We bring Barrasso in the net against Jim Hornacek. Sounds like a golfer. Washington surprisingly does not have Don Beaupre, the pride of Waterloo, and Mike Liut, the former Hart runner-up for St. Louis in 1981, in the net. We have Barrasso. We also have Frank Pietrangelo, who saved Pittsburgh's butt in the first round against the Devils. The Devils almost shocked the Penguins in the first round. That's a butterfly effect. But anyway, we have Wendell Young, Kitchener. That's right, Wendell Young, former Kitchener Ranger, the first goalie in NHL history to win a Stanley Cup for the NHL, the AHL Championship, the IHL Championship, which was a minor league before it merged with the AHL, and the Mem Cup for the Kitchener Rangers 1982. Our players: Mark Recchi, pretty good player. Kevin Stevens, before drugs ruined him. Johnny Cullen, traded him to Hartford in that famous trade deadline in 1991. But John Cullen was great, but then he had cancer. Yuri Yager, this is his inaugural season. He's still playing at 53 in the Czech League. Paul Coffey, Kitchener. Look it up, people. Bobby Uri, Phil Bork, no relation to Ray. Mario Lemieux, the great 66. Joey Mullen, Randy Gilhan, the pride of West Germany. Said Stanislavski before we traded him to Hartford. Brian Trottier, surprisingly leaving the Islanders for Pittsburgh. Troy Loney, Yuri Herdina, I think we traded him away. Tony Tonti, I think we traded him away because he was no longer a Pittsburgh Penguin at the end of the year. Rob Brown, I think we traded him to Hartford. I think Barry Pedersen, I know we traded him to Hartford. Barry Pedersen is the guy that the Canucks picked up from Boston for the wonderful 50-goal scorer, and they gave out Cam Neely. The rest is history. Paul Stanton, Gordy Roberts, Peter Tangalani, the non-goalies, of course, we talked about. Washington has Kevin Hatcher, great defenseman. His brother Darian's in Minnesota. Kelly Miller, part of the Miller brothers. Mike Ridley, riddle me this. John Druce, who was a one-trick pony in the playoffs because of Dana Ciccarelli's injury. There's Ciccarelli, Michael Pavanka, Dale Hunter, London Knights. Fuck that guy. Dmitry Kristics, Peter Bondra, his rookie campaign from Slovakia. Kelly Johansson, Stephen Leach, Nick Capriels, the Goon, Miguel Tartinoff from the Soviet Union, Peter Sessel, future relief, Dave Tippett, great player, well, great coach, Bob Rouse, formerly future leaf, I guess, Tim Berglund, Alan May, Bob Joyce, Rod Langley, the pride of Taiwan, who won 2 Norris trophies in 81, in 82, no, 82 and 83 and 84, I guess. Michael Lalore and Chris Felix and Robbie Murray. Here we go. 5 minutes into the game, aggression. Offside. Green after 2. Oh, and a mistake by Dale Hunter. He's in the box. Da 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 da. Open ice, control, defense. Is it a chance for them? No, we're blue on the road. And Kevin Stevens cannot convert on the power play. 6 minutes later. It's Mew, of all people. But we killed the stone on Alan May. No score to 20 minutes. 4 minutes into the second, they get penalized. It's Stephen Leach. To be taken skills. Power play goal. He came in like a racquet ball, slamming the puck in the net. His 13 from Coffee and Throts. 1-0. 2 minutes later, split. Oh boy. Oh, we get penalized. Gordy Roberts for 5 minutes. So Washington can score as many goals in the 5 minutes. We have to stop them. Damn it! Kelly, your hands up in the play. That was from Kelly. One try. We're gonna feel two drills. It's all people. Damn it. I should get bench Gordy Roberts. But we killed the zone, so we give up 2 for the price of 1. 4 minutes later. Robbie Brown. Come on. Oh, you have to do. At the end of the period, Dungeons can make it 4-1. I would have went with Wendell Young in the net. 1 minute into the game. Chutsky Hardcore Herdina, his second from Lemieux and Stevens makes it 3-2. I think we traded him to Calgary or something. Chutsky Johnny Colin. He ain't stolen. His 12 from Trotz and Coffee makes it 3-3. 2 minutes later, a fight. Washington is angry. Dale Hunter fights Yuri Herdina. I think Herdina cannot fight. That actually helps us. I help them by scoring the goal. Bondra has scored. No, I mean, Dale Hunter's in the box. Hey, you're going to miss Bondra, Hunter more than Herdina. Chusky, Tiger. Tony Tanti Tango. His first from Stevens and Tagliati. 4-4. 2 minutes later. He gets whacked. The poster gives a whack. 4 minutes later, they will penalize Bondra. Our chance. Damn Stevens and Kelly Johansson short-handed with the 5-4. Damn it. But we have a chance to Robbie Brown. Fluke. 3 minutes later. They have a chance to ice it, and they don't. Empty nets time. And we lose 5-4 in Washington. What a disaster. I thought, okay, we stayed out of the box, we should be okay. But we didn't really have to leave for much. Tanti scored and Herdina scored. 2 guys that we lose later in the season. So we lose. Guess what that means? It means that we must simulate the next game. We would be we would have had to simulate anyway because the rules are we can't have the same team twice within a video. And we tie them 3-3, so that ain't good. Trying to lose in the Hockey Night Canada. 3-3 tie. Hernifik and Barrasso played again. We scored 2 goals in the third period. Stevens and Coffee to tie the game, but overtime beckoned. The loser don't have to play. Well, our next game is against Edmonton, but the rules are we tied last game. We beat Edmonton 5-3. Ranford loses to Peter Angelo. Edmonton goals by Glenn Anderson, Peter Klima, and Ken Linsman. Our goals, Trotz, Pedersen, Phil Bork, Gilhan, and Yaga. Okay, so that means our next game can be played. This will be number 2. We play 3 games. So we play Hartford. A lot of the players for Hartford are going to come to Pittsburgh and vice versa. We have Frankie P in the net against Daryl Raleigh, who would be a good color commentator in the NHL. Daryl wrote for the Dallas Stars. Peter Sidorkiewicz, the Polish Prince. Kay Whitmore, who Vancouver actually coveted in the 93 expansion draft instead of John Van Beesbrook, bit them in the ass. And Russ McKay in the net. So they have the little ball of hay Pat for Beak. They have Ronnie Francis. He was traded to Pittsburgh. Bobby Holik, who would be a Devil icon in exchange. I think that was in exchange for Sean Burke, if memory serves me right. Rob Brown, yep, he would be in Hartford at the end of the season. Kevin Dineen, the heart and soul of the Whalers for two stints. Todd Krieger, Paul Sear, no relation to Louis Sear, the strongest man in the world. Rennie Cunningworth, decent player, but he would be better for Ottawa. Kari Wilson, I think he went to Calgary. Mike Tomlak, what a name. John Cullen would soon head to Hartford, but not yet. Sylvain Cote, decent defenseman. Dean Evanson, Scott Young would be headed to Pittsburgh. I think it was, I don't know if it was the March 5th deal, but yeah, Scott Young will be headed to Pittsburgh, but he's Hartford now. Brad Shaw, what a name. Dougie Crossman, Michael Anderson, Jim McKenzie, Alf Samuelson, who we would have later on. Sarli Solapsky, that's a mistake. Sarli should be having a cross because that should be us with Solapsky. Adam Burt, Ed Kastelik, and Dave Babich. 5 minutes into the game, injury and a major on Gordy Roberts, his second major. Well, we've ruined Hartford's attack. And we killed it off somehow. Lake Erie, his eighth from Stevens makes it 1-0. 3 minutes later. That puck probably went out to Stanton. His second from Cullen and Stevens makes it 2-0. Cullen is ruining his future team. And we almost made it 3-0. 2-0 after 20. I said that sounded like 40, Jeffrey. I know. The only coffee I drink are ice caps. Catch it! His seventh. Stevens with his third assist of the day. Much later. Everett Dixon gets in, they score. Bobby Holik, his eighth from Shaw, makes it 3-1. 4 minutes later. It's Roberts. Damn you, guy. Get out of the box. And they score for Beak, his 15 from Adam Burt. Damn it. Stay out of the fucking box, Roberts. No wonder we traded you to Minnesota. And they score. Holik, second from Young and Francis, makes it 3-3. Fuck. Really? Erie. Damn it. At least they didn't score this time. What are we doing? Erie back of the box again. Killed it off. Over hit. Guess what? We got 5 minutes of overtime. Let's see if we win. Uh-oh. Oh, damn it. And guess what? Hartford goes back. We had 25 minutes of pure enjoyment. And then fucking Hartford scored 3 goals. Tie the game. We end in overtime. And a tie is just as bad as a loss. So that means the next game must be simulated. So we would be in Minnesota. And we lost to Minnesota. Wendell Young, Kitchener, lost to Johnny Casey. Pittsburgh goes by Loney, Colin, and Robbie Brown. Minnesota goes by Perry Barrison, remember him, 86. Dave Gagne, Modano, Larry Murphy, future Penguin, Duchesne, and then Gagne ended the hat trick. Montreal won Calgary on Hockey Night in Canada. Toronto lost to LA on Hockey Night in Canada. So we keep going. So we go to New York. We would be playing in New York, but because of the loss, we were gonna and we're gonna lose 7-6. Barrasso losing to Richter. We had it. Recchi, Lemieux, Recchi with the hat trick, Mullen and Erie. Ranger goals by Kevin Miller, Shepard, Agroniak, Jody Hall, Kissio, and Turcotte, and then Chris King. Of all fucking people. So we lose to the Rangers, which means our stuff we have to continue. So we play Washington for the third time, and we lose again, 2-1. Barrasso loses to Beaupre. Langway and Dale Hunter scoring. Two names I don't want to hear. Barry Pedersen scored for Pittsburgh. So we are in deep trouble. That's a massive losing streak. Or a winless streak, if you will. We host Vancouver, but that doesn't matter because we lost the last game. And we tied them 3-3. Kirk McLean and Wendell Young tie. Vancouver goals by Garth Butcher, Jimmy Sandluck, Kitchener. That's right, he was a Kitchener Ranger. Brian Bradley, Kitchener. 2 goals by Kitchener Rangers from the Canucks. Erie, Lemieux, and Coffey, Kitchener. Wow. So 4 Kitchener Rangers in this game, guaranteed. Holy smokes. What should we call it? The Kitchener game. We go to Hartford and beat them 5-1. Peter Angelo beats Sidorkiewicz in the battle of the long listed goalies. Gilhan, Tanty, Mullen, Stevens, and Yager scoring for us, for Beak for them. And we would not have been playing Hartford anyway because the rules are we can't play the same team twice in one video. So yeah, so technically we would have had to say no to that. So we held Chicago, who are on a roll. Barrasso in the net. Ed Belfour does go for Chicago, obviously. This is the Stanley Cup matchup everyone thought they would see. Well, they said it's 92. Dominik Hasek, yes, remember him. He was a backup goalie. And then Chicago traded him to Buffalo. And then after a Grant Fuhr injury, the rest was history. Jacques Cloutier, I think he went to Quebec after the trade. Right? Yeah. Jacques Cloutier went from Chicago to Quebec. Jimmy Waite was also there, and Greg Millen, R.I.P. Blackhawks, Stevie Larmer, who once was close to the Ironman streak, but sat out because of a contract dispute. JR, Jeremy Roenick, this was his breakout season. Michel Goulet from Quebec to Chicago, where he did okay. Dirk Graham, the first black captain because he had black heritage. Adam Crichton, Steve Thomas, future relief. Wayne Presley, Kitchener. That's right. Troy Murray, not Kitchener. Dave Manson, the defenseman with a soft voice after a fight in 1991. Chris Chelios, who was traded from Montreal to Chicago for Denny Savard. Chelios going back to his hometown. Doug Wilson, pretty good without the bucket. He would move to South Side the next year. Greg Gilbert, Mike Hudson, part of the 94 Rangers. Jocelyn Lemieux, distant relative to Mario Lemieux. Mike Peluso, the Goon, Bob McGill, Trent Yanni, Frederick Cusera, Mike McNeil, Keevy Brown, Steve Conroy. Well, if I had one leg, because that's what the hockey pitcher was like. Brian Noonan and Stu, the Grim Reaper Grimson. Lots of fighters. There we go. Peluso. Aw. We had a chance. 5 minutes later, aggression. And Roberts. Damn, that guy can't $20 on TV. And they score. Troy Murray from Roenick and Lerner. 1-0. 1 minute later. Now they take a penalty. Stevie Thomas. Stevens gets hit. And we can't score. But they give another penalty. Creighton. And then chance this time. Damn it. You know what? They got lucky. We had 3 power play chances that we couldn't score if we could. And Pedersen takes a damn penalty. But we killed the zone on them. Let's keep running. So that's okay. 2 minutes later, they score. Dirk Graham from the Nightmare. 2-0. Much later. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Oh, man. He came in like a wrecking ball. All he wanted was a wicked goal. His 17th from Phil Bourque. Much later. Douglas hits again, and they're up 2-1 after 40. 2 minutes later. Chance? No, sir. 2 minutes later. All those hits. 4 minutes later. Discretion. They deliver a hit, but no penalty. Lucky for them. Stamina. Aw, fuck. See that? Coffee had a chance. Shot scored. Manson ends in the empty net. His 8th goal. Since when does Dave Manson score 8 goals in a season? And we get our asses whipped 3-1 by the Blackhawks. So, guess what? Next game has to be simulated. Montreal Toronto on a Wednesday? Yeah, Toronto won 1-0. Wow. So we host New Jersey. Well, we what? Well, off camera. Oh, overtime heroics. Whew, my goodness. By Yager, his 10th goal in his rookie campaign from Johnny Cullen makes it 5-4. Brasso beats Burke. Oh, we go to Buffalo. Next video, we're in Buffalo. And we are in 3rd place in our division. Rangers and Washington looking pretty confident. We're in 3rd behind. Well, New Jersey's at 32. Philly's at 30. The Cupcakes have only 19 points. Boston, Montreal, Buffalo are all fighting tooth and nail for the Adams, with Hartford for Quebec not doing so well. Calgary and LA are battling for the Smythe. Edmonton's 3rd. Winnipeg, Vancouver tightening their belts for 4th. Chicago is crushing it. St. Louis, not so much. Minnesota, okay. Detroit and Toronto are fighting for 4th. Brett Hall has 34 goals. He wants 50 and 50, and he's right now at 34 goals in 31 games. Mike Renner 2nd. Dave Gagne 3rd with 26 goals, but 8 assists. Yeek. The top 8 goal scorers have more goals than assists. Our top goal scorer is Recchi with 17, tied for 10th. Goals against, Brassel's 18th. Ed Belfour, 4 shutouts. Yikes. Don Beaupre 2nd. Kelly Rudy 3rd. Vincent Viando, fuck that guy. Troy Gamble, ahead of it. Mike Liut in his swan song, as you will. Darren Pupa ahead of Tom Barrasso. I can't have that. The most unfair stat is Peter Angelo 7-4-1, and he has the worst goals against than Ron Tugnutt, who's lost 13 games for the Nordiques. Has a 3-4-6 goals against. How and why, I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. Nevertheless, I'm Jeff Diamond. Do.